Penn State was building for the future last year, a young team to beat some really good opponents. Michigan State, Minnesota, Maryland. More than 80% of the scoring back for Pat Chambers' crew. Some good young additions, a lot of optimism, and for good reason in Happy Valley. And very pleased to be joined now by the head coach of the Nittany Lions, Pat Chambers, along with Lamar Stevens and Tony Carr. Coach, all 5 starters back. What is that familiarity? The fact that you guys have played with one another for a while here, you know the nuances of each other's games. What does that do for your crew?
Well, it's a first for us, too. You know, this is the first time in our tenure at Penn State that we've had 5 starters back, which is great. And I think we're going to learn from the experiences from last year. They came both summer sessions. We had a foreign tour. We had 10 practices. You had your preseason, and now we're a couple weeks in. So they're really getting to know one another. The sense of connection that I see from a lot of what we did this offseason, you can see it. You can hear it in the locker room when they're having a good time and laughing and joking. But you can see it on the court now. They understand what we have to get better at, and that's their focus.
Yeah, where have you guys seen the biggest growth from where you were last year? A bunch of guys who hadn't necessarily, well, some of had played together in high school, but hadn't played together as a Big Ten team, to now where you're a year into this with each other.
I think something we really took pride in this year was focusing a lot on strength and conditioning, getting as strong as you can, and being as best shape as you can. And I think our whole team stayed for both summer sessions, and we worked really hard over the summer. And we just to focus in on playing hard for the whole game.
Tony?
I would just say that we're tighter as a team this year. You know, we have 3 freshmen, and it seems like they've been on the team for years. So we just kind of do stuff off the court together that brings us even closer on the court. When it's time to practice, guys aren't bickering, guys aren't mad at each other. So I just would say that we have a lot more chemistry this year, and we just enjoy being around each other more.
I mentioned some of those games you guys won. I mean, Michigan State, Maryland, Minnesota. What did that do for your confidence and kind of that realization that, hey, we can compete in this league?
Yeah, we always go into every game with confidence, and like you said, just beating some of those tough opponents just added to it. And we just want to learn from those experiences from last year, just losing those games down the stretch. And hopefully we can just take those tough learning experiences and move forward going into this season.
How about for you, Lamar?
Yeah, like Tony said, we definitely go into every game thinking that we could win. And we're a very confident team. So, we took all those wins and we learned from them, and we learned a lot from the losses also. So last year it was a season where we learned a lot. We really matured from that year, and I'm excited what this season brings.
Size was an issue at times last year. It doesn't feel like it's going to be an issue this year.
No.
Give me a sense for that group up front.
Yeah, so up front this year, last year was just Mike Watkins and Julian Moore and Lamar in a pinch with foul trouble. So, we were a little light. And this year we add Satchel Pierce to that. We add John to that, and as well as Lamar and Trent. So up front, we're bigger, we're stronger. We're going to be able to handle the Michigan States and the Purdue's, the bigger teams in this league. And I think, that's why we were 13 out of 14 in rebounding. I think we're going to see our rebounding get much, much better.
So you really looked up the tempo last year, and now with this bigger team, are you still going to play that same way? Do you have different paces you might play depending on the lineups that are out there? How are you going to handle that?
I would be doing these guys a disservice if I tried to slow it down. I want to play a 70 per possession game. I want to utilize Mike Watkins' speed and athleticism and Josh Reeves' speed and athleticism and what these guys can bring when you're going on odd man rushes and the defense is getting back. It can only help us put the ball in the basket because, in a half-court set, these Big Ten teams are just tremendous defensively. So if we can get some stops on our end and get some rebounds on our end and push, I think that bodes well for us.
Guys, you took a foreign tour, the Bahamas. It's not a bad place to go. Give me some of the highlights of the trip aside from basketball.
It was just a beautiful place. The ocean, the water was crazy. It was light blue, and so we don't see that in the New Jersey oceans when we go there. So it was cool.
Surprisingly, my highlight was me sleeping in my hotel bed. It was one of the most comfortable bed I ever slept in, so I pretty much maximized that.
Dave, we did a catamaran, and that was awesome.
All right.
They were on a boat. They'd never been out on a catamaran to see these beautiful houses, right? We saw Jordan's house, Oprah's house. We saw these amazing houses. We did there's a lot of fun things that we did that was incredible to bring these guys together.
What did you learn about your team as a basketball team? I mean, not necessarily kind of the off the court stuff, but what'd you learn about between the lines?
So down there, we were losing by 13. And I don't want to go back, but just for a second I will. You don't know if we're going to come back, if we're going to combat that. We're going to fight and grind it out. And they did. As a matter of fact, they did. We were down 13. They come back. They take the lead. And then we go into double overtime. We didn't see any heads go down. No poor body language. What are we doing next? How are we going to win this game? That was their attention to detail. That was their focus. That was their determination. That's what I'm excited about to see this season.
So what needs to happen for this to be an NCAA tournament team this year?
Defend and rebound. Defend and rebound. We gave up 73 points last year. That's too much. These guys know that. And rebounding, we were 13 out of 14. That's not, we're giving up too many extra possessions to our opponents. We put up 72, most since 2001. If we can get that to 68, if we can get that to 65, well, now you're looking at an NCAA tournament team.
Is that the clear goal? Is that NCAA tournament? Is that what you guys talk about, Lamar?
That's definitely a dream of ours, but something we really harp on is just taking it one step at a time, focusing on each day. You got to win the practice before you can win the next game. So we win every practice, and we got to focus on every game before we can think that far.
You guys like having the NCAA tournament, or the Big Ten tournament, I should say, out here? I mean, Washington, D.C. was close to your campus relatively last year, and once again, easy drive for Nittany Lion fans. What do you think about the East Coast Big Ten tournament?
I think the tournament being in Madison Square Garden is just great. Madison Square Garden is the mecca of basketball, and just to bring this tournament here and just to measure with that gym is just great. And hopefully our families can come watch the games, and it'll be a little easier of a drive, so I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Tony Carr, Lamar Stevens, Pat Chambers. Guys, thanks a lot. Best of luck this year.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.